Today, how the pandemic affected our ability to make important decisions.
So, with specificity in the context of the pandemic and COVID, what have you learned? What have you seen with people that you've been working with?
Well, Seth, the thing that you got to remember is that our brains are hardwired to, first and foremost, to keep us safe. And that's what it's going to do first and foremost in all the decisions that we make. So we've got people who are afraid of water. Well, let me tell you, what's that about? Well, that's about people who didn't have that fear of water. They were the ones that ended up drowning and didn't pass along their DNA to the next generation. Have you ever wondered why some people have a fear of open spaces? Well,
yeah, I've never really understood that one.
Yeah, the reason is because open spaces were where our ancestors were most likely to be spotted and run down by predators. And so that is our caveman brain talking there. Ever wonder why snuggling under the covers feels so incredibly great? Well, the reason is because millions of years ago, hiding is what kept us from being eaten. Our caveman brain has those sensations. So we're all about that fear right now. And when something happens, like we get robbed in our car or things like that, you got to realize this is not a rational experience. What it's about is our caveman brain coming back. And so with the pandemic, what we know is that everybody right now is just a little afraid. And so we've probably heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It starts at the bottom with those basic survival things, and then safety comes up then. When we get to the top, it's about those higher intellectual things. Well, everybody's been moved down Maslow's hierarchy of needs right now. The reason is because we are simply afraid. And folks are going to tell you, hey, I'm fine. I'm dealing with this pandemic just great. But what the brain research shows us, that's not true at all. They're not fine. And as much as they want to convince themselves that they are, they aren't. So what we've got to realize is that any conversations that we have with clients, any work that we do in our own financial services portfolio, it's going to be very much geared towards the idea of safety right now, because we are operating in fight or flight mode. And that's not going to go away until we get through this thing right now. So any financial decisions that we're making or any recommendations that you're giving to clients right now, those are things that you're going to want to give, an opportunity to change again in 6 months, because odds are they're not going to be making the best choices, and you're not going to be making the best choices either. So what that's about now is revisiting the plan that you had before the pandemic started. Go back and revisit that plan and see if it still makes sense for you. And if it does, you probably want to stick with that over the course of the next little while. So what I like to do, just like any good planner is going to do, you're going to create upside and downside limits for everything that you're going to do. Doing that in our personal life and our financial life. But most folks right now are saying, it's a new situation. I need to throw those old goals out. Well, now's the time to take that long-term approach. Come back to those goals, because odds are they're probably pretty sound. And revisiting and sticking with them, that's what we want to do right now, because we're all just a little insane.